Hey guys, how's it going? Tominator here. So let's check out the Toronto Pro Show that took place on the weekend, okay? So here we have the top three, and then I believe that's Hollingshead on the right, who was like sixth. I'm not sure why he's up here in this top callout. Nevertheless, let's go through it. I'm going to focus most of my attention on the two guys in the middle, namely Iain Valliere and Jonathan DeLaRosa, who went 1 and 2. DeLaRosa won, of course, and Iain Valliere to his left took second place. I think the placings were absolutely fair. Pretty straightforward outcome. So all these bodybuilders had their flaws. That's why they're not like top 10 or even top 15 at the Olympia. But they definitely brought pretty good conditioning. The lighting was not very good in this show, so a lot of those finer details aren't being seen as well as they should be. And it was horribly inconsistent because I've checked other pictures and whatnot, and it seemed to be like if they took a step back, the light was very variable and they'd be like lost in shadows, and then they take like, a step forward or to the side, and then the light hits them properly. So pretty spotty lighting at this event. But here is all right. My main problem with it is these judges' heads that are kind of getting in the way, covering up Iain Valliere's leg there. But anyway, in the front double bicep, Jonathan DeLaRosa takes this one. He's just got a better taper than Valliere, so his whole upper body looks bigger and more impressive. My biggest complaints with DeLaRosa in this pose is, once again, the herniated belly button and also the quads, which don't have the best shape nor separation. But I am very impressed with DeLaRosa's calves. This is really the first time I've noticed what a great pair of calves that he does have on him. Iain Valliere, the vacuum here I don't think is really doing him any favors. He doesn't have the best rib cage, and I just don't really think it's helping his case here. You can see that guys like DeLaRosa and Josh Wade on the left have a much nicer, rounder, fuller looking rib cage, whereas Valliere's is a little steeper, and the line just isn't very clean, so I don't think he should really continue to hit this one going forward. So I give this pose obviously goes to DeLaRosa. And one of the things though is that Valliere's the angle of this camera is slightly off for him, so it's hurting him in a lot of poses, and it kind of throws off his symmetry as it's doing here. But one thing in terms of his posing execution, I believe that he's kind of raising his shoulders a little bit too much and unnecessarily, and that's kind of making him look more awkward in these some of these front poses than he should. So in this one, it's tough to call because again the angle's not spot on. I'm actually leaning towards either Josh Wade or Iain Valliere. DeLaRosa, I don't see the lats. They're not prominent enough. I notice more with him, the arms, the chest, the shoulders. And turning into the side chest, though, I think DeLaRosa kicks ass in this one. Yeah, because Valliere's chest is just too thin. It looks very, very flat compared to Josh Wade's and DeLaRosa's. DeLaRosa, he's got a very nice flow throughout the upper body. The hamstring sweep is on point, and the calves are the icing on the cake that basically gives him this pose, no questions asked. And turning around, this is where I was most impressed with DeLaRosa here. So you can already notice, okay, do we really need to touch another man's ass? I don't know about that. Okay, you can already see the Christmas tree coming into full effect right there. I mean, this lower back is world class. This would stand up well in the top callout of the Mr. Olympia in terms of those spinal erectors. This is crazy by today's standards, because not a lot of guys have a great lower back anymore. If you go back to the early 90s, it seemed like everybody had this, but nowadays it's like almost a lost art. And combine that with the shredded glutes, those honking calves, and just overall, he looks great in this pose. So I think that he's cleaning these guys' clocks in the back double biceps. Iain Valliere's back is, it just needs some work. It's still a little bit shallow. You can see that right there. Doesn't have a whole lot of thick mass in the lower lats. Now, pretty much everybody on stage, it seems, is outmassing DeLaRosa in terms of raw width and size. However, I would still probably give this pose to DeLaRosa because he's got the nicest V taper in this lineup right here. Josh Wade, he looks huge, but the shape is a little bit off. The symmetry doesn't look like it's kind of matching up from the left side to the right side. Again, the angle of the camera is playing a part in that, I know. Same thing goes for Iain Valliere. Like, these guys are big, but they just look kind of blocky and unshapely through the back. So I would probably give this one to DeLaRosa as well. But I need to probably see more pictures and from different angles to make a clear verdict on that one. Side tricep, I thought that Iain Valliere should clean up on this one because I really like the way he hits it. Let me just back it up 1 second here. Because when DeLaRosa's hitting it in the conventional way, like this right here, I think that he probably takes it. Again, the angle's better for him than it is for Valliere. But once again, we see that hamstring sweep. His midsection looks on point. The arms are huge. And he's got very favorable muscle bellies through those triceps. That lateral head is very meaty. Valliere, from this angle, it's kind of like presenting his weak chest a little bit too much, and we're not really catching the triceps as well as we should be. But again, that's down to where the camera is relative to him, so it's not really his fault. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that Valliere takes the side tricep. Abdominals and thighs, though. So, I've already mentioned that DeLaRosa's quads aren't the best, but I do prefer his midsection over Valliere's. So, it's kind of a toss-up on this one. I would probably lean towards DeLaRosa because I like his abs and his obliques more. They just look more defined. And also, the judge's head blocking Valliere's legs is not helping Valliere either. So it's really tough to make a definitive call on this one. It's pretty close there, though. Neither one of them's really knocking it out of the park. Most muscular, though, goes to Iain Valliere, I'd say, because the massive shoulders and arms, and look at just the crazy vascularity through those delts right now. Really good quadriceps once again, so I think DeLaRosa is hard-pressed to beat him there. But overall, yeah, as you can tell, I gave the vast majority of the mandatory poses to DeLaRosa, so I think the outcome was entirely just and very straightforward. So that's my opinions on the 2019 Toronto Pro Super Show, okay? So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, this has been the Tominator signing off, and I'll be back!